Donald Trump on the attack today, condemning the establishment at a rally in North Carolina.
It's a campaign about rejecting the cynicism and elitism of our failed political establishment. I'm going to fight for every citizen of every background from every stretch of this nation. I'm going to fight for every child living in poverty. I'm going to fight for African Americans who have not been treated fairly.
And our next guest says the establishment is now in a full-blown panic over Donald Trump. And joining me now, Pat Buchanan, senior advisor to 3 presidents, twice himself a candidate for the Republican presidential nomination, nationally syndicated columnist and best-selling author, and great American. Pat, great to have you here.
Good talking with you again, Lou.
I have to say, to talk about the establishment being in a panic, you can sense it when you look at what is happening with this full-on 360-degree assault by the national liberal media against Donald Trump. It's breathtaking, and because he said, I will tell you at the time whether he accepts the results of an election. It is the most bizarre phenomenon I have witnessed in this campaign, and we've had a few over the course of this almost year and a half. It's remarkable.
You know, Lou, I am astonished at the hysteria. You know, Trump goes out there and said, look, I'll tell you later. Let's have a little suspense on whether I'm going to accept the results. And then they go in this panic as though he's going to be like the British general who burned down Washington simply because he might not phone Hillary Clinton that night and say congratulations. Yeah. I mean, but I'll tell you what explains
the modern-day Al Gore. I mean,
yeah.
Oh, my, what a horror thought.
But you know, there's a real terror at the heart of the establishment for a simple reason. Trump has exposed their complete disconnectedness to the country they're supposed to represent and lead. He basically has indicted and convicted them of leaving our borders open and allow tens of millions of people to walk across them, of taking our enormous manufacturing base and exporting it abroad, costing 6 million jobs, and of getting us into endless wars that they cannot win. He has exposed the real disconnect between the establishment and the country, and the establishment is panicked.
I want to share with the audience a paragraph from your column. Quote, quoting Pat Buchanan, "It may rule and run the country and may rig the system through mass immigration and a mammoth welfare state so that middle America is never again able to elect one of its own. But that establishment, disconnected from the people it rules, senses rightfully that it is unloved and even detested," end quote. A remarkable sentence, and I think absolutely true.
Well, look at the facts. In the Democratic Party, Bernie Sanders, a socialist, what did he win? Almost 24 primaries and caucuses, got 40% of the Democratic vote. Ted Cruz and Donald Trump probably got 75% of all the Republican votes. Trump got half of them. What these voters are saying, what those huge rallies for Trump still are saying is the American people dislike and even detest the establishment that has done this to them. They recognize who is at fault. And quite frankly, Lou, the reaction, the hysterical reaction to what Trump said testifies to the fear that is gnawing at the heart of this establishment. And the real problem for our country is there's a real possibility that both the Republican establishment against which Trump and Cruz ran and the Democratic establishment, the same establishment we have now, could be in power continually with the same old policies.
And the fact of the matter is this. This establishment is so ossified, has created such a stultifying orthodoxy, and I'm talking about one establishment, it's a bird with 2 wings, one Republican and one Democratic, that there is no way to breed further innovation, to drive entrepreneurialism in this country, and without watching at the same time tremendous margins of loss in personal liberty, in terms of over-regulation. It's happening, and we're not responding to it as a nation, and now it's an ideological issue, and the only person capable of reversing it is, in my opinion, Donald Trump and his movement?
I think basically that's all we've got left right now. And you are dead right. The two parties in Washington, D.C., their two establishments, are two wings of the same bird of prey. I mean, you look at the two of them, what is the hope that they will change the very policies in trade and immigration and foreign policy and wars and regulations that they themselves have helped to impose on the country in which they believed? And then you take a look at Hillary Clinton, for example. Oh, I'm against the TPP now, which she had called the gold standard. We learned from WikiLeaks and all these other things. What does she believe in? I believe in common market of open borders and open trade. That's the end of America.
Throughout the hemisphere.
And that's what she believes.
Let's see some building momentum. Come on, Pat. We got to have some building momentum. Pat Buchanan, great to have you with us. We appreciate it.